Okay guys, now let's implement our scope model. So how we can do is get back to our auth page, auth.dart file, and instead of returning this register button, we are going to return the scope model descendant. It's also a widget. I will show you how we can implement it. Just type scope model descendant and it will be a type of my scope model, and then it will take a builder, and a builder is just a method, and in this method it requires a build context. So just give him a build context and then a widget. You can completely ignore this widget because we are not going to use this widget for now, but you have to type it. Okay, child, and then we will need my scope model. We'll name it model. Okay, now inside this we will return our this raised button. Okay, so now on press of this button, what we'll do is we will register user and we will pass this model there. We know that this register doesn't accept any model for now, so let's just modify it to escape our scope model. My scope model, and just start the sign up. Do is model dot register user and just provide him this user. Okay, now let's add a then block, and we'll have a map value, as we have given a map value there. So let's just create a map here, string comma dynamic, then this, name it response. Okay, now let's just pass this response like if response success, means if the registration process was successful, then what we'll do, redirect to home screen, to product screen, let's say. Or else what we are going to do, okay guys, so now in the else block we will display the error, whatever the error is causing or which is not allowing our user to sign up. We are going to show that error to the user. So how we can do is we'll call a method called show dialog, and this requires a context. So we'll give it a context of our app, and then it requires a child which will be a alert dialog box. Now let's just see which method it has. So it has a title, so let's add a title. We check what the title really wants. It want a, okay, so title will be a text saying error in signing up. Now on the content it will also be a text. Let's just add a comma here, and this text will be our message which we have received from the response. So we'll just call the response message. Okay, so we have finished signing our user up. There's only one thing left. There's no indicator which is showing that our user is signing up. Means like if we just run this app, we need some progress bar to show the user that something is happening in our app, some background process is taking place, because sign up will take 1 or 2 seconds. So we need to show some indicator to indicate the user that something is happening in the app in the background. Okay, or else our app will look like it has been freezed, it has been freezed out. So how we can do it, we'll go back to a scope model class, and here I will create a private variable called bool, and it will be is loading, and it will be false by default, and whenever we are doing any task we will make it true. We'll make is loading equals to true. And inside the try method also we will do the same. We will know in the try we will, when the user is logged in, we will make it false again. Is loading equals to, it will just indicate our app that's if anything is loading then show the indicator, and if anything is not loading don't show the indicator, equals to false. Now let's create a getter for this boolean. Okay, so now we have created this getter. Let's go back to our auth class. Now inside our register button, sign up button, we will check if model dot is loading, then what we'll do, we will return a flat, no, we are going to return a row with children's, and this children will be, what we can say is, first will be a circular progress indicator, and the next will be a flat button with child text will be signing up, and there will be an onPress method, an empty onPress method. Okay, else we will return our raise button. So let's just make it a little more prettier. So I will align main axis alignment. Dot center. Okay, with this codes our app will perfectly run and show indicator that whether the user is whether something is happening in our app in background or not, and if there's any error it will show us a dialog box. So let's just run our app.